It's an exciting day. It's an exciting fund. It's an exciting opportunity. The purpose of the day is not to give fine detail about what you should write in field 6 on the form, any of that stuff. It's about inspiring arts and culture organisations and digital technology organisations and people who sit in the space in between to come together, think about the issues, think about the possibilities of digital in the arts, and maybe therefore realise that your interests and the interests of the fund coincide, and we'll talk about the timescales and things for the fund later on. We're also going to hear from Andrew Nairn, who's on the panel with me, and from Susan and from John, who I'll introduce briefly in a moment. Andrew's from the Arts Council Executive Director at the Arts Council Executive Director of Arts. He's going to talk about wider Arts Council digital strategy things, which is also important, and there might be some interesting newish things he's saying, I'm hoping, Andrew. No, maybe. We will be talking about the themes and the objectives of the Digital Fund, of course, during the course of the day. But crucially, we want to use this as an opportunity to get people together who haven't necessarily been got together before, get you to a position where you can meet new people, potential new collaborations. And so the afternoon's mostly about that. I'm going to go through the schedule in a moment, but that's mostly what the afternoon's about after we've heard from these guys on the panel during the course of the morning. So if we just step through the agenda, you have it in your packs. Andrew Nairn from the Arts Council will be first up. He's going to talk about wider digital strategy of the Arts Council and the relationship to the fund, I hope, first. And then John Kingsbury here from NESTA is going to talk about the fund and NESTA's priorities and those elements and some of the research ideas. There'll be an opportunity to ask a couple of questions there, but I know Andrew and John are around at least through until lunch and maybe over lunch. Maybe John's here all day, I'm not sure. John's here all day. Yeah. So there's opportunities to buttonhole them and talk about your specific questions. And then we've got 2 short case study presentations, digital arts type collaborations, to be followed by a discussion with you, the guys giving the case studies and chaired by me, either side of, that's all happening either side of lunch. And then we'll have this rather terrifying concept of 2 o'clock, facilitated networking. What we're actually going to do, because I get scared of big words like that, I don't know if anyone else does, we're going to break out into thematic groups. If you've been looking at the fund, you'll see that there are half a dozen themes. User-generated content and social media is number 1, or it is 1. Distribution, new technologies and where you can use distribution. Education and learning. Mobile, location and gaming, that's number 4. Data and archives. And the last one is what we're calling resources, which is using technology to run organisations and make things more efficient. What we're proposing to do is to have 2 40-minute chunks in their own rooms. So there'll be 3 sessions run twice, if you like. And you can self-select, go to the ones that are most interesting to you. It's an open discussion, and the idea is that we want to come out at the end with some themes, some trending topics, if I'm getting all trendy and Twitterish about it, some trending topics that are of interest to the group who talk about each of those themes. And that's to feed into the selection criteria process and feed into the guys who are running the fund, but it's also hopefully get people thinking in interesting new ways, maybe with people you haven't met before, and just maybe you'll meet a technology company, or just maybe you'll meet an arts organisation that you can collaborate with that you haven't met previously. So that's the running order for the day, and there'll be plenty of time also towards the end for comments and feedback in that session. I'll give you a refresher on the timing over lunch. Bit of housekeeping. There are coloured, you all got badges on, except me. Don't know why that is. Somebody tried to persuade me that by the time I'd finished talking, you'd know who I was, so perhaps that's it. You've all got badges on, of course. You have a little coloured element. I can't see the badges because I'm blind as a bat from here. You don't? You do. It's not hard. There are only 2 categories. If you're a cultural organisation, you've probably got a red one. If you're a technology organisation, you've probably got a green one. If you're schizophrenic and you feel you've got the wrong colour, that's fine. We can probably add another colour to you if you like. As you will notice, it is a busy gig. We're quite busy, and there are some more people we think still to arrive. So just kind of be aware of the fact this is the capacity of this room, and we don't want people to have to sort of jam themselves in the corners, particularly. With that in mind, I also know that some organisations were sort of restricted in who they could send. You could only send one person, so we're really grateful to those who can't be here with us. Is that what you can say? I suppose it is. And therefore they can watch the video later on, because as I say, we are filming. So that's the structure, that's what we're trying to achieve, and it's now really time to kick on into the detail. I'd just like to give my three colleagues at the panel the opportunity to introduce themselves briefly before each of them, Andrew and John go up and give us some more detail. So I'm going to start with Andrew. Andrew, could you give us a couple of minutes of intro, please?
Sure, hello. I think many of you know about the Arts Council, but just in case you don't, we promote, develop and invest in the arts. It's not all about funding, it's about developing and championing. And in fact, this R&D fund is absolutely all three. Between 2011 and 2015, we will invest £1.4 billion of public money from the government and a further £0.85 billion from the National Lottery into the arts. Our mission is great art for everyone. And I'll say a bit more about this in a minute, but this is our 10-year strategic framework, and running all the way through it is the possibilities of digital technology and how they can change, shape, and accelerate what we want to achieve in the arts. And we've, of course, as again, many of you will know, supported many digital projects, ideas involving digital technology over the last few years, including really high-profile ones like National Theatre's NT Live and others. And we're really excited about this fund. I think this is a really key moment, fascinating moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. That's great. Well, as you say, we'll be hearing more from you. Susan from the AHRC, Susan's head of knowledge exchange at the Arts and Humanities Research Council. You're not doing a whole separate thing, so you don't have to do it in 45 seconds. What's your role? What do you hear about? What's your role in the fund?
Okay, well, first of all, for those of you who don't know about the Arts and Humanities Research Council, I just thought I'd give you a very brief overview of who we are and what we do. We're one of 7 research councils in the UK, providing government funding for world-class research and postgraduate education in UK universities and in some designated independent research organisations, including the museums and galleries. And our annual budget is around 105 million. So our remit covers a very wide range of around 52 subject disciplines and subdisciplines and research areas, right across the arts and humanities, including media studies, music, dance, drama, visual arts, creative writing, journalism, history, classics, modern languages, law and informatics. But in addition to supporting world-class research and training, we perform a leadership role in bringing together different sectors to work with our academic researchers to produce innovative and strategically important research, which brings about impact through the development of new products, services, and business processes. Over the next 4 years, AHRC is going to be focusing the main thrust of our impact strategy on the creative economy through a number of targeted funding initiatives, including a £16 million investment in 4 knowledge exchange hubs for the creative economy, and that competition is ongoing at the moment. We are keen to connect our researchers with leading businesses and SMEs in the creative economy through activities that respond to the sector's pressing needs in research skills and economic development. And the aims of this Digital R&D Fund for arts and culture are strategically important to AHRC, and we will be co-funding the research element of the programme. Audience engagement and new business models are both key areas of research interest for our academic community. And as an organisation, we're also very interested in the outcomes of this programme to inform the development of our creative economy strategy. So I do hope that you have a really productive and worthwhile day today. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you, Susan. And John, NESTA, your role, NESTA's input into this whole process, if you would, please.
Thank you. Yes, I'm director of the Creative Economy programme here at NESTA. It's really wonderful, actually, to see so many familiar and friendly faces here at NESTA, but it's also wonderful to see some people who are perhaps new to NESTA. So NESTA is the National Endowment for Science, Technology and the Arts. We're an innovation agency dedicated to using innovation to solve some of the economic and social challenges that we face in the 21st century. And arts and creativity is terrifically important in that role, not just because arts and creativity enrich our lives, but because it's also economically important as well. And so that's one of the reasons why we're interested in the space. And I suppose the science, technology and arts bit in our title is a bit of a clue as to the fund that we're launching with our partners. So I'll be talking a bit more about that later, but welcome to NESTA.